My friends and my fellow citizens, I'm Mike Gableman. Recently, Speaker Robin Vos appointed me as special counsel to investigate our 2020 elections here in Wisconsin. In that capacity, I work directly for you, the people of Wisconsin. The rich and the powerful have all the representation they need. I'm here to make sure the same is true for everyone. Just last week, once the Assembly approved the funding of our investigation, and our investigation began in earnest, we've already met with witnesses and made requests for the preservation of possible evidence. But let me be clear. The purpose of this investigation is to determine what was supposed to happen in our elections and what did happen, to see what went well as to see what might have gone badly. If things did go wrong, we will submit recommendations for how problems should be addressed so that voters can have complete confidence in all of our elections going forward. This investigation will be guided by a search for the truth and not by political priorities or political timetables. Some evidence has been produced previously that shows some election officials acted unilaterally in deciding not to follow established state law. We will request from those officials and others with potential knowledge of unlawful actions, and will compel them, if necessary, to produce documents and testimony that will allow the public to gain a comprehensive understanding of how their elections were managed. You should know that the responsibility to demonstrate that our elections were conducted with fairness, inclusivity, and accountability is on the government and on the private for-profit interests that did work for the government. The burden is not on the people to show in advance of an investigation that public officials and their contractors behaved dishonestly. This is not an election contest. We are not challenging the results of the 2020 election. Rather, we are holding government officials accountable to the public for their actions surrounding the elections. As the officials directly responsible for administering elections, Wisconsin's 1,922 county and municipal clerks have a duty to the people of our state to be forthcoming in this investigation. It is my sincere hope that Wisconsin election officials will live up to that duty. But if they do not, we will use the power afforded to the Office of Special Counsel to compel answers to these questions. Investigations must remain open to receiving information from all sources, regardless of the personal biases of some sources. Otherwise, the result would be predetermined by bias rather than by the truth. This investigation will test information we receive against other evidence, and it would be foolish to prejudge evidence by prejudice against individuals. In other words, this investigation will be guided by facts, not personalities. The Office of Special Counsel will not prejudge any person or any argument. Speaking about the internal workings of an ongoing investigation is reckless and irresponsible. It can put witnesses and whistleblowers at risk of retaliation. It can do unnecessary harm to reputational interests, and it can result in relevant information and evidence being destroyed or compromised. Now, it's important to note that the term forensic audit is a confusing one, and it's confusing because it has no commonly accepted definition. Rather, the definition of each forensic audit is created by those who control that audit. The Office of Special Counsel is conducting a full investigation in order to get to the truth of what happened in our 2020 election. And that full investigation may include a vigorous and comprehensive audit if the facts that are discovered justify such a course of action. The purpose of the investigation is truth and not expedience. Also of importance is the fact that in this investigation, the door is open. If you have concerns about the election, we want to hear about them. Conversely, if you believe the election went perfectly and have evidence to that effect, we want to see it. When the Office of Special Counsel has relevant information to share with the public, we will do so through a logical and responsible method such as press releases, news conferences, or videos like this one, depending on which is most appropriate. In the meantime, we have work to do, and we'll keep focused on it without disclosing investigative matters until the time is appropriate. My job as special counsel is to gather all relevant information. And while I will draw my own conclusions, my goal is to put everything I know and everything I learn before you, the citizen, so that you can make up your own mind. I think it's very important, it's critical to know that an obstruction of this office is an obstruction of each citizen's right to know whether all ballots were appropriately counted, that our elections were managed with fairness, inclusivity, and accountability. Thank you, and may God bless you, and God bless the United States of America and the great state of Wisconsin.